It was a quiet night, the kind where the world outside seems to hold its breath, just like any other. Or so I thought. Little did I know this seemingly ordinary evening was about to take a turn into the extraordinary. The house was settled, a familiar stillness filling every room. The air was calm, undisturbed. The lights were low, casting long, soft shadows that danced along the walls. It was the perfect setting for a relaxing evening, and the only sound was the gentle hum of the refrigerator, a constant, comforting drone that usually faded into the background. I was on the couch, lost in the pages of a book, the fictional world providing a welcome escape from the mundane. With my pit bull Junior asleep at my feet, his gentle snores a soothing counterpoint to the refrigerator's hum. He was my shadow, always there, always loyal. Suddenly, Junior's head shot up, breaking the peaceful spell. His ears twitched and his eyes snapped open, wide and alert. Ears perked, body rigid, every muscle tense and ready. He was no longer the relaxed companion from moments ago. He stared at an empty corner, his gaze unwavering, intense. Nothing but shadows and drywall, a space as unremarkable as any other in the room. There was nothing there, at least nothing I could see. His focus was so intense, so unwavering, it sent a shiver down my spine. The hair on my arm stood up, prickling with a sudden, inexplicable chill. I felt a sense of unease creep into the room. A low growl rumbled in his chest, a deep guttural sound that vibrated through the floor and into my bones. Not his usual bark, but a sound of warning and uncertainty, a primal expression of something he couldn't quite understand, but knew was there. His eyes tracked something across the wall, following an invisible path with unwavering attention. Up to the ceiling and back down as if watching a silent, unseen dance. I saw and heard nothing, straining my senses to detect anything that might explain his behavior. But Junior was clearly reacting to a presence I couldn't sense, a phantom only he could perceive. It was unsettling, to say the least. I tried to calm him. "Easy, boy, it's okay." My voice was meant to be soothing, but even to my own ears it sounded strained. He ignored me, completely locked on that unseen thing, his focus absolute and unwavering. He stepped forward slowly, cautiously, nose twitching, testing the air, sniffing for information I'd never detect, picking up scents and signals beyond my human comprehension. He let out a soft whine, a low, mournful sound that tugged at my heart, questioning the emptiness as if trying to understand why nothing was there, yet something clearly was. In that moment, my loyal companion was telling me we weren't alone, that something else occupied the space with us. His behavior was a clear signal from his world to mine, a desperate attempt to communicate something beyond my understanding, making me question my own perception, my own sanity. Was I missing something? Was there something more to reality than I could perceive? Many dog owners have stories like this, tales of unexplained behavior and uncanny perceptions. Dogs barking at nothing, their barks filled with a purpose we can't comprehend, cowering from empty spaces, their bodies trembling with an unseen fear, or wagging at invisible guests, greeting entities we can't see or acknowledge. These moments make us wonder, what are they seeing? What are they sensing? Are dogs just being silly, their antics merely a product of their playful nature? Or are they sensing something beyond our understanding, something supernatural, something just beyond the veil of our perception? Their senses might be tuned to a world we can't see, a world teeming with energies and entities invisible to the human eye. It forces us to see our dogs as beings with a completely different way of experiencing reality, beings capable of perceiving a world beyond our own. Perhaps they are the unseen watchers, guarding us from things we can't even imagine. Can dogs see ghosts? It's a question that blends our love for dogs with our fascination for the unknown. When a dog like Junior stares into a vacant corner, it's easy to jump to a paranormal conclusion. We want to believe our dogs have a sixth sense, bridging our world and the world of spirits. But what does seeing a ghost even mean? For humans, it's a visual apparition. For dogs, reality is built on smell and hearing. If a dog senses a ghost, it might be a faint scent or a high-frequency sound, not a visual event. So when we ask if dogs can see ghosts, we're really asking about the nature of perception itself. Are there things happening around us that we can't notice, but our dogs can? It's a question about biology, psychology, and the powerful bond we share with our animals. To truly understand if dogs possess the ability to sense things beyond our comprehension, things that remain unseen or unfelt by us, we need to deeply appreciate the unique and complex world they inhabit. a world shaped by senses far different from our own. We must step outside our human-centric view and consider their perspective. Humans as a species primarily rely on sight, using our eyes to navigate and interpret the environment around us. But for dogs, the world is perceived in a vastly different way. For them, it's predominantly all about smell, the intricate tapestry of scents that paint their reality. Sound plays a crucial role as well, offering another layer of information. And perhaps even more intriguingly, subtle energies that we are not even aware of. Their noses are true marvels of biological engineering, possessing a sensitivity that's up to 100,000 times more powerful and acute than ours. It's a difference that's almost impossible for us to fully grasp. This incredible olfactory ability stems from the presence of around 300 million olfactory receptors, a staggering number compared to the mere 6 million we humans possess. Thanks to this, a dog can smell who was in a room hours ago, even if the person is long gone. They can discern what they ate and, perhaps most remarkably, even their mood, picking up on subtle chemical changes in the air. Furthermore, their vomeronasal organ, also known as Jacobson's organ, detects pheromones, those subtle chemical signals that play a vital role in communication. This allows them to read our emotions through scent, understanding our feelings on a level that bypasses conscious thought. Their hearing is just as impressive, opening up another dimension of sensory input. Dogs hear sounds at frequencies up to 65,000 hertz, far beyond the upper limit of human hearing, which typically maxes out around 20,000 hertz. This allows them to pick up high-pitched noises, like the subtle hums emitted by electronic devices or distant animal sounds that remain completely unnoticed by us, expanding their awareness of the surrounding environment. Their vision, while less colorful compared to human sight, is remarkably well adapted for low light conditions and excels at motion detection, making them excellent hunters and observers. The presence of the tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer behind the retina, lets them see with remarkable clarity in the dark, and they're incredibly sensitive to the slightest movement, allowing them to detect potential threats or prey with ease. All these senses, working in concert, combine to create a reality for them that is far richer, more detailed, and more nuanced than the one we perceive. So the next time your dog reacts to what seems like nothing to you, barking at an empty space or staring intently at something unseen, remember that it might be a world of information, a sensory experience that we simply can't access or comprehend with our limited human senses. Their perception is layered with details, nuances, and sensory inputs that will forever remain a mystery to us, a testament to the incredible diversity of sensory experience in the animal kingdom. People once thought dogs were colorblind, but science shows they see blue, yellow, and gray. Their eyes are built for dawn and dusk, with the tapetum lucidum reflecting light for better night vision. In dim rooms, dogs see more than we do. Shifts in shadow or flickers of light are obvious to them. Some research suggests dogs might even see ultraviolet light, revealing patterns invisible to us. So when a dog stares at nothing, it could be reacting to a flicker, a movement, or a UV pattern we can't see. Their visual world is different, not paranormal, just hidden from us. Dogs might not see human-like ghosts, but they notice things outside our range. Their strange staring is often an attempt to make sense of information we miss. It's a perception of reality that's simply beyond our own. We often marvel at the seemingly supernatural abilities of our canine companions. But what if their superpowers aren't so supernatural after all? What if they're simply experiencing the world through senses far more acute than our own? A dog's true superpowers are hearing and smell. These senses are so finely tuned, they allow dogs to perceive a reality that's often invisible to us. And these heightened senses often explain what we might misinterpret as paranormal behaviors. When your dog seems to be reacting to something unseen, it's likely not a ghost, but rather a sound or scent that's beyond our human detection range. Dogs can detect high-frequency sounds emanating from electronic devices, or even the subtle rustling of pests within our walls. These are sounds that are completely imperceptible to the human ear, sounds that we simply can't hear. What sounds like complete silence to us might be a cacophony, a noisy room filled with unseen activity to them. This constant barrage of auditory information can sometimes lead to unexplained agitation, or that perplexing habit of staring intently at walls or ceilings. Their incredibly mobile ears can pinpoint the source of even the tiniest sounds. The subtle creaks of footsteps in the attic, the gentle hum of water pipes hidden within the walls, or the faint scratching of a mouse scurrying behind the drywall. So that sudden, seemingly unprovoked bark directed at the ceiling, it's probably not a ghost, but a living, breathing house inspector, a furry, four-legged one hard at work, alerting you to something you can't detect yourself. But their sense of smell is where their true superpower truly shines. It's even more profound, more astonishing. Dogs can detect scents in concentrations as low as parts per trillion. To put that in perspective, it's like detecting a single drop of liquid in 20 Olympic-sized swimming pools. They can smell the lingering presence of people who were in a room days ago, or decipher the complex layers of old scents embedded within the walls of an old house, a fragrant history book written in odors. What we perceive as a completely empty room, devoid of any sensory input, a dog might experience as crowded with scent ghosts, a vibrant tapestry of lingering odors telling countless stories. That's why dogs might approach and greet an empty chair with enthusiasm, because it still holds the comforting scent of a loved one who recently sat there. Even subtle environmental changes like drafts, unfamiliar smells wafting in from outside, or even changes in air pressure preceding a storm can trigger noticeable reactions in our canine companions. Their world of scent is so incredibly complex and nuanced, a symphony of odors that we can barely imagine. As a result, their behaviors are often based on a wealth of information that we, with our limited senses, will simply never be able to perceive or fully understand. So the next time your dog exhibits seemingly ghostly reactions, remember that it's far more likely they're just responding to a world brimming with sensory information, a world that remains largely invisible to us. Science explains a lot, but personal stories keep the mystery alive. Many owners share tales of dogs reacting to spots where loved ones once sat long after they're gone. Some dogs become protectors, growling at empty hallways or standing guard at doors. Others seem to predict tragedy, refusing to leave a dying owner's side. Dogs sometimes react to haunted locations, cowering or barking at empty spaces. These stories, shared worldwide, create a folklore that science hasn't fully explained. To ask if dogs see ghosts, we must define what a ghost is. For some, it's a visual apparition. For others, it's a presence or energy. If ghosts are energy, dogs might sense them. Dogs are sensitive to temperature, pressure, and even electromagnetic fields. Dogs also read our emotions, mirroring our fear or anxiety. When we're spooked, our dogs pick up on it, creating a feedback loop of unease. Ghost is often a label for what we can't explain. Whether it's high-frequency sound, old smells, or our own nerves, both science and belief try to make sense of a dog's strange behavior. Their reactions sit at the crossroads of fact and faith, fueling our curiosity. Dogs as supernatural guardians are ancient. Anubis in Egypt, Cerberus in Greece, and black dog legends in Britain. These myths cast dogs as beings on the threshold between worlds. Hollywood loves this idea. Dogs in horror movies sense evil first, and even cartoons like Scooby-Doo put dogs at the center of spooky mysteries. We trust a dog's instincts, so when a dog is scared on screen, we feel it too. These stories, from ancient myths to modern media, reinforce the question, do dogs know something we don't? They keep the conversation fun and engaging, blending folklore with our everyday love for pets. The legend of the supernatural hound endures. After all the science, stories, and history, what do we know? Dogs experience the world in ways we can't, smelling, hearing, and maybe even seeing things beyond our reach. Their superior senses explain most ghostly behaviors, barking at walls, growling at corners, predicting storms. Science gives us logical answers, but can't rule out the unknown. If ghosts or energies exist, dogs would likely sense them before we do. For every scientific explanation, there's a story that defies it, a moment that feels like something more. Maybe we'll never fully answer whether dogs see ghosts. The mystery is part of what makes our bond with dogs so special. Their instincts remind us there's always more to the world than meets the eye, with our loyal dogs by our side. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.